All right, I believe we are live. I was a little bit surprised not to see it showing up on my Twitter feed here, but it does say open live video, and I see our familiar faces, so I'll take that as a good sign that we are indeed live. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining our office hours. It is 4:30-ish p.m. Central Time. And today we have once again, the absolute pleasure of having a distinguished guest with us, Mr. Richard Hicks. Welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me on. Always a pleasure hanging out with you chaps.
Sounds good. I'm grateful in multiple ways here, not just to have you here as a guest, but also I've been teaching a master class since 9 a.m. this morning, yapping constantly. So it'd be good reduce my speaking for a little bit, saving a little bit of voice for tomorrow. So
That's awesome.
Extra bonus there. Did not plan it
Yeah.
that way, but it turned out pretty good, I'll say.
Good.
That works. Well, how about you let us take it over for you for a little while then?
All right, then. Let's go.
All right. I got a couple of things that I came across that I was looking forward to sharing today.
So,
put my screen up.
Yes, sir.
There we go. First thing I came across, I'm not going to go through the whole article because it's quite a deep dive, but Christopher Turner wrote a very nice comparison article between Hyper-V and the current landscape of VMware. I probably don't have to tell any of you how that conversation's been going over the last couple of years, unless you've been living under a rock. But folks are looking at alternatives to VMware, and I thought that Christopher did a fantastic job here talking about how Hyper-V has changed over time, especially with Server 2025, and actually wrote out a very nice comparison tables for specific categories comparing these two. And down at the bottom even summarizes it with a very nice a complete table. So I was really excited to see this. It's a conversation that pretty much every organization I've talked to in the last 2 years really has been having. What do we do about VMware? So great stuff here. If that's something that you're doing in your organization, I would give this a read. And then a couple of tools that I came across as well that I'm going to be giving myself some homework with them. First one is a pre-release, bold letters, pre-release tool from Ben Whitmore, an M365 deployment tool. So this is a command line PowerShell based tool that also has an optional UI that helps build out M365 packages for deployment. Now, building out a config file for Office is pretty straightforward, but when you get into an organization, I think, where you do have all of these different versions of Office. You've got M365 apps. You've got LTSC Office that even if you want to get rid of it, you can't. You have some applications that have to have LTSC. You have some folks with Visio, some folks with Project. You end up with a half a dozen or more packages very easily, and from time to time you do have to configure them. So I'm looking forward to trying this tool out because I'm always looking for a way to make that easier, I guess I should say, because those config files are easy to go through the wizard and configure them, but they do take time. So we like time savings tools here. Also came across this nice new reporting tool from Nathan McNulty, and it's around reporting on vulnerabilities that are showing up in Defender through Defender for Server, Defender for Endpoint. And he states his goals here at the top of the README that was basically looking to build a dashboard around that data without having to use Power BI. So he's exporting that vulnerability data from the Defender for Endpoint API and building out an HTML report with PowerShell. Very exciting stuff here. Always like additional reporting tools as well. And it looks, well, that's not helpful. But here in the screenshot, it looks quite nice and easy to filter and find the information we need. And then two things on the Intune Admin Center side of things. I did notice that my tenant's on service release 2601, which started rolling out like a week ago, maybe. But there's no documentation for it yet. So I'm not sure what has changed. But we'll be keeping an eye out for that. I did notice a tweet somewhere that 2601 was still rolling out. Normally that only takes a day or two. But we'll be keeping an eye out for that, and hopefully we'll have some news around what was in 2601 next week. And lastly, we were talking, I don't remember if it was office hours last week or if it was another venue you and I were talking, Johan, but there was a report around Secure Boot, the upcoming Secure Boot changes, and there was a report that is in Intune that was showing whether or not your devices are remediated. And it was here because I remember Zach commenting on it. So we looked at that report a little bit last week, and now it is gone. So Microsoft did update their documentation about this. This report is unavailable at the moment. They are going to be re-releasing it. I haven't seen an actual reason why, but we did discuss a little bit that there were a few things that we were hoping would be improved with it.
I have a theory.
Let's hear it.
It didn't work.
That's a pretty solid theory, actually.
It's my guess.
Love it. But on that note, we've talked a little bit about, I anticipate this is going to be a topic of discussion for us for the next several months. Richard, the last time you were here, we were talking about this very thing. But you guys have some more you want to add on to this?
I think the last time I was on, I had mentioned it, and because I just developed a tool, a PowerShell script called Get-UEFICertificate. That's published in the PowerShell gallery, by the way. And you can find it on the sources on GitHub. It's at github.com/RichardHicks/UEFI. And yeah, I think our discussion was, I had shared with you that I had a customer reach out to me and ask me about it quite a while ago. And of course, I knew nothing about it at the time, but because I was their certificate guy, right? I managed or help them manage their certificate services infrastructure. And it was a certificate related question. I'm like, I should know about this. Never heard about it. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I dove into the world of UEFI and certificates and discovered what that was all about. And that ultimately, yes, there are certificates that are expiring. It's nice to see. When I first got involved in it, it didn't seem to be like hardly anybody knew anything about it. So fortunately, obviously promoting it here on your show, and then talking about with some other folks, and Microsoft is now, because now we're into January and February, this thing expires in June. There's a lot of people now starting to look at this and go, "Ooh, we need to really get this sorted out." So yeah, it was very interesting. So I wrote the tool to be able to go in and look and see the certificates themselves, so that you could look at it and empirically state, this certificate is here because here is the certificate and here's its expiration date. I can see it's the new one, right? From the right issuer, from the right expiration date. So you can run that script across your estate and then validate that you have the actual script or have the actual certificate. It was nice to see that report show up in Intune, and I thought, oh, this is even easier. Obviously, there was obviously some challenges with it, and they pulled it back. But if you're an SCCM environment and you're looking to build some reports around this, have a look at that script. It might help you perform inventory to make sure all of your estate has been updated properly. But we have until roughly, I think it's mid-June, end of June or something like that. So hopefully everybody's wrapped up by then.
That's the hope. A lot of work ahead, I anticipate.
Yeah.
I actually have a resource to share if you don't mind terribly.
Not at all. And I've got this page up here as well to your script, Richard. So yes. I'll make sure we share that in the links for this evening.
Oh, you bet. Yeah. I think it's one of it's interesting because it's one of the most popular downloads that I have of all the scripts that I have published, like by a long shot. So it's obviously filling a need for a lot of administrators. So it's been downloaded exponentially more than anything else anybody's downloaded from me. So it's great to see that people are finding it useful.
Awesome.
That is awesome. So last week, after our office hours, obviously, because this was Thursday, Microsoft did an hour-long event around this only, and it was joined by Arden White, one of the long-time engineers behind a lot of architecture things, Windows. But this was a fantastic session available for on demand. But don't just look at the session. Scroll down and power through the 327 comments, because some of these questions and answers are downright fantastic.
Yes.
So this is just a great resource. They covered a lot of okay, what's going on? What do we need to do? And Microsoft has started to provide additional guidings on this. They have the Secure Boot playbook here that they're referring to, yes, giving us IT pros some sort of guidelines to get things going. So highly recommend checking this one out. That was my take on that one, and now I'll be quiet.
Yeah, I was on that session as well, and there was a lot of good questions that came up during the Q&A, and obviously they shared a lot of good information. But you're right, people asking questions later in the comments and in the chat was tremendously helpful. But yeah, great, fantastic resource.
Awesome. Well, that's what I had for news today.
All right, then. I have a couple of things. Leaving cloud for a little bit here and going back on premises. I learned the hard way that if you're too updated in terms of SQL ODBC drivers, ConfigMgr will not install. It will not even upgrade. It's just breaks it. So you have to downgrade. The latest version you can be on currently is 1.52. So, or 18.52. That one that is highlighted there. So that was a learning. But I'm happy they actually published this fairly quickly, because I saw it initially as a Reddit thread. People were like, what's going on? And then someone mentioned, well, I solved it by downgrading. And shortly after this one came to be. So I was happy to see that. Some other things worth mentioning, I think. To no one's surprise, yesterday was Patch Tuesday. Hard to miss that one, because I had a couple of machines rebooting on me. Today, some planned, some unplanned. But I think it's worth mentioning that look at this and try not to cry. But I think it would be safe to say that probably speed up patching this month a little bit more than the usual cadence would be wise. And there was particularly one patch that I found very interesting. There was a security risk in a well-known product from a vendor that reached an 8.8 on the CVE scale. And it was Notepad.
Yep.
Who uses how widely deployed is Notepad?
It's somewhat widely deployed. I'll say so. I think I have 17 instances running just on this machine alone. But apparently, if you use Notepad to open text files, which is not an entirely unheard of scenario for Notepad, and that text file happened to have a link, it didn't quite check that link properly. So that would have been addressed in this patch also. So
good times.
how you put it.
I didn't expect to see a remote code execution vulnerability in Notepad. Let's just say that. Or alternatively, the other point of view there is who could have guessed once everything started getting loaded into Notepad over the last 2 years?
Seems like a rich target, doesn't it? It's so ubiquitous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you think of it. Say that Notepad, the original one, had like 10 lines of code, and the new version has 10,000 lines of code.
Well, you bring up a good point. It's because they've added so much functionality to that, and a lot of people are not happy with that. Right? They want their basic code, text editor. But this also falls in line with what happened with Notepad++ recently too, where they had a vulnerability in their update mechanism that was being abused by nation-state attackers, but still highly problematic. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, how many administrators have it on their admin workstations? By the way,
me.
Same. I have it on mine too. So, yeah. By the way, I think it was I think the update mechanism got hacked, I guess, but. So I guess if you're just doing the automatic updates, you were vulnerable. But I usually just go grab the latest update from GitHub.
Yep. Then in this particular case, we were actually safe.
Yeah.
Because that was a different repo or different repository.
Yeah.
All right. Then Martin Bengtsson over in Denmark alerted me to basically a blog that Microsoft shared around the upcoming 26H1 version. So Microsoft is breaking the cadence for one specific scenario. The other stuff will come this fall. But if you have hardware that is using that specific Qualcomm CPU, and funny enough, in the masterclass today, one of our students is from Qualcomm, so we had a good chat. It's one of their engineers like, oh, this is awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, I can ask a million questions.
Yeah.
But anyhow, this update will only be offered to that specific hardware. So I like that. So
interesting.
That is interesting. I wonder why the actual change in version number just for that.
I'm guessing they just want to add in the support without having to wait until the fall.
Yeah.
Because the hardware is obviously available.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Pretty sure they want to sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long story short on that one. Let's see what else. There was one more thing. Oh yeah, we have a management summit announcement first. And speaking of security, if you've been in security for more than 4 seconds, you will recognize that Mr. Sami is joining the management summit for the first time.
It's getting serious now, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the good stuff. Yeah,
we're bringing in the big guns now.
Yeah. So let's see.
Just need to get Paula Yanushevitz to join us.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. And then, I mean, I always liked Jeffrey Snover for all his posts over the years. But now when he retired, any filter he had is gone.
Honestly.
These recent posts, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a chance to check out his blog here, absolutely brilliant. Hilarious to read. That's a good weekend read for you.
That's awesome. He didn't have much of a filter before, but now, yeah.
Yeah, I think the headline indicates as much. The post title.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of security and security training, just a shameless plug here, but we have first this gentleman coming in, Daniel, who will be joining us at some point later in the office hours, doing some, for those of you that still do on-premises security, have an upcoming class on that. And then we have this gentleman with a last name called Hicks.
Hey.
You happen to know him?
Yes. What are we doing? So, what am I signed up for here?
It should be in your calendar, but maybe
so,
if you can,
it'll pop up. We'll see it eventually. But yes, you're absolutely right. We're doing another enterprise PKI certificates in Microsoft Intune class. What is it? March 10 to 12. So looking forward to that one. That one's always a popular one. Most of the students who attend usually find it very eye-opening. Because this is a master class. It's a 3-day deep dive, and we cover every aspect of issuing and managing certificates with Intune. And so that not only includes issuing certificates from on-premises Active Directory certificate services using the connector, Intune certificate connector, both with PKCS and with SCEP, because there's 2 ways to do it. PKCS is pretty simple, but SCEP is much more complex, and we spend when you deploy SCEP, you have to deploy the Microsoft Network Device Enrollment Service, or NDES service. We spend a full day, an entire day of the course going over installation, configuration, management of NDES. And most students are blown away by what they just weren't aware of, or what they didn't know about it. It is highly complex. It is exceedingly difficult to install and configure, and then harder even so to get it to configure it securely. The deployment guides that are on the internet, even those from Microsoft, are always lacking. They're either incomplete or incorrect, or actually giving bad advice. Not one guide I have ever seen has everything that you would need to do to deploy NDES securely. And so that alone, I think I've had a number of customers who out of the class have said, oh yeah, we're rebuilding all of our infrastructure, or we're switching to something else because that was so eye-opening. And then we wrap it up with Cloud PKI. So we're going to cover Cloud PKI for Intune, what it is, how it works, how to use it, how to integrate it with on-premises Active Directory, how to extend your existing ADCS deployment with that. So that's good as well. And then we are also, tomorrow's Thursday. We are just at the end of our PKI or ADCS Essentials class. So we are this week is 5 of 6, and that started in January. So if you're listening or if you're watching now, you've pretty much missed it, but we're probably going to do it again later this year. I don't know if you have that up, but at the end of the day, we do a 6-week course here on the ViaMonstra Online Academy, basically fundamentals of ADCS, and it's been really good this last couple of weeks. We're just wrapping that up, but I hope to see folks who just want to learn more of the fundamentals about Active Directory certificate services. Hopefully they can join us next time. We'll probably do it towards the end of the year, I would expect. So
yeah, it sounded like Lindsay wanted to plan it for either Q3 or Q4 here, so looking forward to having you back.
Good deal.
But you're telling me that there is more than just a checkbox that says on, right? That's a little bit more than...
Much more, yeah. Absolutely.
One can hope. All right.
Yeah.
So that was all I had in terms of news for today. What questions do we have, or comments for that matter?
We've got a few that came in. I do want to share. I'm going a little out of order here, but while we're sharing news, I did want to... Zach provided an update. So he's been facing this shutdown not working issue since the January cumulative update, which was its own set of fun, if you will. But anyways, he said he can now safely shut down after the February.
That is good. See if I find
that.
that comment here. Yes, there is the one, and I will share your screen momentarily.
Yeah,
there's a lot of buttons here.
Oh, yeah, I was just clicking around on Cloud PKI after you were talking about it. I was just going to spin it up real quick. Hit create and you're done.
You can do that, and it will work.
We be clear, have heavy sarcasm. That there's a little bit more nuance to that.
Yeah, most of it's planning. I mean, you can set it up fairly quickly, but then you'll find that if you didn't think about something at the outset, you will not be able to do stuff later that you absolutely want or need to do. And your only option is to basically start over. So definitely want to think about it.
100%.
All right. So patching, good. There was nothing you wanted to show there, Andrew, just his comment there.
Yeah, just his comment. Appreciate you keeping us up to date, Zach. I know you're working with Microsoft on that one. So
awesome.
Hopefully that stops plaguing everybody. All right. Now we do have a question here around updates. What's the latest on ScanSource for co-managed devices that need third-party updates coming from ConfigMgr? About half of our devices stopped updating from Windows Update after a 2503 hotfix. I haven't seen anything that's changed that I recall.
No, I have not either.
I can, since you have my screen up, I can share. Usually when I have a question about ScanSource, I do refer to Ben's deep dive from originally posted at the beginning of 2024, but you can see he has been keeping it up to date. And we do get those questions because dual scan and ScanSource is, I don't know, he said it best here. It does need to be demystified. So I'm not aware of any changes from this blog post to now. There is a section right at the top of this blog post around third-party updates, and if you want to stop receiving them from ConfigMgr.
Well, I did write a post around pretty much the opposite, where I wanted to do certain things through Intune, but the rest with ConfigMgr. So I wonder if it's something that is related to that, because it does cover the sources. Let me bring it up on screen here. So this one here, where the scenario was that you wanted to control firmware and drivers for Intune, but you wanted to do patching and ConfigMgr. So we ended up having to set the equivalent policy for that, the driver source for those specific things, as basically a scheduled task or a remediation script that run every hour, because it will constantly be overwritten by other settings. So maybe a combination with this and what Ben wrote in that article can give some clues at least. But I would strongly recommend, I'm just guessing, this might be Patch My PC. I recommend recognize the name here in the chat, and if that's the case, their support is downright amazing. So I would recommend reaching out to them and see if they have any idea. And probably I would recommend doing that either way, because they are pretty good in replying to community stuff as well. And yesterday, was it tomorrow? When was support hours? Is it tomorrow for Patch Tuesday, the Patch Tuesday group?
That sounds right.
I think they're running it tomorrow. Where is that webinar announcement? Did you find it?
Yes. It is tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central.
Awesome.
So here, if you go to patchmypc.com/events, scroll down a little bit, you'll see the register button for that webinar here.
Yep. So basically, as long as you're not attending my class tomorrow, join this one.
Excellent.
Anything else?
Right.
Still have 29 minutes to go here.
Yeah, a few comments. I see a comment here that BIOS updates have been rolling out, but most devices are eligible for the secure boot updates. Thankfully, that's good. You want to see
good.
that. Let's see. Michael Leary's joining us. I mentioned he just got a ticket from a user saying he's been experiencing a similar shutdown issue since last month's update. So thanks for the free closed ticket. You are welcome. Thanks, Zach, actually.
Yeah, credits where credits are due. Yeah.
So another question around the secure boot certificates. As long as, basically asking, long story short, as long as your BIOS updates keep rolling out on your devices, Microsoft is going to take care of the rest. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. So I think they're servicing that as part of LCU. So the idea there is Microsoft has been proceeding very cautiously with this rollout because they just wanted to collect more information. And so they're beginning now to kind of ramp up and expand that. So if you're letting Windows Update do its thing, then I think you're going to start seeing more and more of these get deployed here pretty quickly. But yeah, the real concern is that if we don't get the root certificates in place, then nothing stops working necessarily, but you do have the exposure that if they need to sign a new bootloader, you won't have the new certificate, and secure boot will just stop your machine from starting. So that's a potential future thing. But yeah, I think that again, keeping a close eye on things, just making sure that this is going to roll out and smoothly and everything, and probably end up mostly just going to have to wrangle stragglers here and there. But I think it should be. We should see some solid progress over the next couple of months, I would expect.
Sounds good. Well, while we're waiting for more questions, I don't know how I missed it, but I had it on my screen before, intending to showing it. But it's been a long day, and I'm old, so I forgot.
All is forgiven.
Anyhow, I was attending a webinar that Recast did, must have been last week, and I stumbled across this solution, free solution, from Andrew Taylor. Basically, an email that you get with things that you need to worry about in an Intune tenant on a daily basis. And one that I really loved, that I have witnessed firsthand, over licenses or over licensing, where organizations are having thousands of users having a license. Only problem, those users does no longer exist. So they are paying like a good chunk of money for nothing. Yeah. So this one was absolutely brilliant. And Andrew spent basically the entire hour, most of the hour, explaining how it worked, what he was doing behind the scenes, and a lot of his other community tools as well around Intune. I've been following him for a little bit, but I managed to miss a couple of these. So if you go to Recast's webpage, head over to their webinars. This one here, downright brilliant. Just sign up, you get a webinar or the on-demand play link, but this was good. This was really good. So highly recommend it.
Very nice.
Yes. Anything else?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I was going to ask, is the Recast team? They're usually at MMS, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I think I usually see them there. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Good deal.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to see Garth or hear him.
Yeah. Good deal. Yeah. I will be at MMS this year too. I got a couple of my talks accepted, so I'm going to be talking about Cloud PKI for Intune in one of those sessions. So
excellent.
If either of you blokes want to join me for that, I would appreciate it. If you want to tag along with me.
Sounds good, and I'm probably owe you a beverage or two as well of your choice throughout the conference there. So
I think we can find an excuse to make that happen.
Sounds good. No, I'm looking forward to MMS.
Yeah, I haven't been back in a couple of years. Just travel conflicts, schedule conflicts, but this year it was free, so I was excited.
Oh,
I was
nice.
glad. I was glad when I submitted my talks, Greg didn't forget who I was. So
I don't think that is very likely, but are you going to the MVP Summit, by the way, Richard, this year?
I will be at the MVP Summit this year. Yes.
All right, then I'll see you there. I just got my ticket
there,
sorted out, and yeah.
Yeah, good
nice.
deal.
Awesome. When is that for you guys?
Mid-March or better?
End of
March.
March.
Yeah.
All right, coming up quick.
Yeah.
That's one of the perks as an MVP, that you get to go to Redmond if you're quick enough to sign up for it once a year.
Yeah.
And apparently we are welcomed at MMS. I now have that in writing. I just want to put that one up there.
We have witnesses, and back at you, Zach.
Yeah, this is now recorded, so it's once it's on the internet, it never goes away.
That's true.
All right. Any other comments or questions, or are you guys letting us go easy today?
Think we've missed any questions or anything.
Well then, anything else you guys want to share, or shall we simply wrap it up for today?
I think it's about it.
Yeah, I think that's what I've got for this week.
All right. Well, thank you, Andrew, and thank you, Richard, for joining. And
thanks for having me.
see you around.
Yeah,
thank you all.
Very good. Cheers, everybody.
Great one.